Hey, friends, welcome back to Pain to Passion Live. Oh my goodness. Today, I get to talk to one of my favorite people, Jennifer LaGuardia. She is one of the most shiny, hopeful, beautiful people that I've ever met. She's incredibly encouraging, wise, and kind, and I just love her so much. Jennifer, thank you for being here with me today.
Gabi, I love you so much. Thank you for that beautiful intro. And just please know the feeling is so mutual. You are such a beautiful human being, beautiful inside and out. And I am so honored that you asked me to do this. I absolutely love you. You're amazing. So thank you, a bajillion thank yous. I
Oh my
love this.
gosh.
I love I,
See,
I love that
see,
I get to be
guys,
on here with you.
I told you she's just like the sweetest. And the thing is, like, she's always like this. Like,
Uh,
I have never met anyone with this kind of sustainable encouragement that Jennifer has, which it doesn't mean that you don't have bad days. It doesn't mean that you don't get down, but you just have the most radiant spirit and so encouraging all the time. And I just think that's so inspiring. Like, it really, really challenges me, honestly, regularly to be
oh,
like, you know what? If she can be that way, I can be that way.
oh,
Be more
Gabi, that's
encouraging. So
thank
just thank you
you.
for who you are. You're so
Thank you,
beautiful.
Gabi. Gabi, thank you. Just so you know, like I have to interject. So it's with intention every day. I want to exude this. It is such a, it means everything in the world to me. It's such a high for me to make other people smile, to make people feel good.
Mm.
And, like I try to live my faith every day. I want that love and light to pass through me. So I pray actually very pointedly. Oh my God. I mean, every day, sometimes throughout the day, especially on those days where, it's not easy. It's a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I just pray that I ask God to just channel that love and light through me, even if, it's not always easy. And I'm just very
Mm.
grateful to hear you say that because that's something that I pray for because, that's just how I want to live life. I want people to feel that from me. So
I
thank you.
love that. I love that so much. I mean, and that's a lesson right there. Like, just the fact that you ask for that from God every day, I think is so amazing. Like, we can all learn from that. Just ask God for that thing that you want to portray to the world, you know? It's
Thank
beautiful.
you, Gabi. I appreciate that.
Of
He'll do
course,
it.
my friend, he will.
He
Isn't it
will.
true? He will do it. Well, my friend, I would love for our listeners just to get to know you a little bit better. So, can you tell us, like, who you are, what you're about, what you do?
Absolutely. I'd be honored. So, hi, everybody. I am Jennifer LaGuardia. I have a podcast. It's called Awakening Hope with Jennifer LaGuardia. And the heart and soul behind this podcast is more than anything else in this world, and it's a very deep soul calling. It's something God put on my heart years ago. I want to be that encouraging voice to all those who might be at that point in their lives, or you might be at that point of the journey. It just really looks like all hope is completely lost. I've been there. I've walked through a lot of darkness in my life, and I attribute how I've gotten through anything and everything to my relationship with God.
Mm.
So I'm on a mission. It is like my heart and soul mission to speak life and hope into the lives of all those who just really are at that point where you just don't even know what's the point anymore.
Mm.
I believe with every fiber of my being that we're all wired with great purpose and destiny. And it's really hard to feel that when you're going through something that just feels like it's impossible. And it's, I feel like a lot of people want to have faith, they want to have that hope, but sometimes life gets so overwhelming, it's almost impossible to even see possibilities. So what God has done for me, how God has helped me see that light and experience these intimate encounters with Him it's just made me that much more passionate to want to help lead other people into those same experiences. So that is why I do my podcast every week, and it's just these brief, short, it's a solo cast. It's just these short little few minute messages based on my own personal experience, just to kind of uplift anyone who just needs to hear that encouraging voice. Some of the episodes I'm just praying over you. I loved it. That's a deep passion of mine. Prayer is so powerful. So I love to pray over people. So I do that once a week on Instagram videos, and it's part of the solo cast. So yeah, I mean that really is just what I'm about. I just want to be someone who encourages people's faith with everything I do, whether it's the solo cast. I'm looking into getting into guided meditation work, just to help create an atmosphere for people to feel connected to God.
I
Yeah,
love
so
that so much.
thank you.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
So
Thank you.
all her info, by the way, guys, will be in the show notes. So make sure you go follow her and subscribe to the podcast and all the things, because you'll be so encouraged by, I mean, don't you love listening to her voice? I just love listening to
Thank
her
you,
voice. It's
Gabby.
so encouraging. But you mentioned like you've been to that dark place. Right.
Yes,
And that's
yes,
why you're so passionate about what you do.
yes.
So, whatever you'd like to share, we would love to hear like what your journey has been from that darkness and what that experience has been like for you.
Okay, I'm honored and grateful to share. So I've been through a lot of different life experiences, a lot. But for the sake of just this particular conversation in this episode, I want to isolate one particular experience that I think a lot of people go through. Um, and this really consumed a large part of my life, and it could have ended my life. So it's one of all the things I've walked through, this is probably one of the biggest, and that is overcoming codependency, narcissistic abusive one particular a narcissistic abusive relationship,
Yeah.
and forging a healthy relationship with myself. Because honestly, it wasn't until a few years ago did I really understand what it meant to have a healthy relationship with myself,
Wow.
and to be free from so many things that kept me like in this horrible cycle of what's called codependency, people
Yeah.
pleasing, and you know feeling like I had to save and rescue really toxic people no matter how bad their behavior, and completely losing myself in the process. Not real Like, it got to a point where I felt so disconnected with my own feelings and emotions, my own identity. I couldn't even tell you really who I was. I live to try to make other people happy, especially in these relationships. So that journey of finding out, who did God create me to be? What is my soul calling and purpose? What brings me joy? What are my values that I hold sacred and are non-negotiable? What will I no longer tolerate in my life? What will I no longer compromise? So coming to these realizations, that's what began my healing journey.
Wow.
So I can articulate from that point.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
go for it. Whatever is on your heart to share about
yeah,
that. I think, like you said, it's something that a lot of people deal with. And a
yes,
lot of people
yes,
are probably in the middle of right now, whether or not
yes,
it's a narcissistic abusive situation or just codependency in general. A lot of
yes.
people are in the thick of that. So, what did that look like for you, and how did you get out?
Okay, I appreciate the question.
Absolutely.
Like, basically, like, every relationship that I had since my early 20s really was not healthy. I mean, it was just different variations of toxic. But the thing that I want to share with you and with the audience, I'm so grateful um, to share this. There's an analogy that I felt God impressed on my heart, and this whole story centers around this. So you've heard of this very real scenario of someone who gets into an accident, and they're rushed to the ER. and like the injuries that were sustained from that accident, they get all fixed up. But lo and behold, the doctors discover something even deeper, and whatever it was that they discovered even deeper could have killed them. So I was never in an accident like that, but the same exact scenario, because I had gotten married to someone who was he was just very disturbed and it could have ended my life.
Yeah.
And I will go into detail about that, but I kept asking God. I never blamed God. I took ownership for making this decision, not great decision, but I kept wondering to myself, how come is it that all these relationships ended? Like God shut the door, and how come God didn't shut the door until like I got, I went as far as getting married. And here again, I took ownership for making this decision, but I just kept wondering, why did this have to get to this point? And then it dawned on me, it wasn't until like the grand crescendo of toxic relationship I had gotten in over my head did I realize the layers of dysfunction on the inside of me.
Yeah.
Why was I constantly attracting the same person but with a different face? And I like, that was something I was consciously aware of. Like, I don't understand. It's not like I'm intentionally looking for these awful people, I mean, my heart goes out to a lot of people, but it's not like I'm wanting to, get intimately involved with people that are just, not healthy, they're not good people, right?
Right.
So it wasn't until, if it was not for that experience getting in over my head, marrying this person, would I have realized, oh my God, this is why. Because I was I was just so disconnected from myself for so long. I didn't realize that I was really severely codependent. And I didn't realize I didn't know what it meant to love myself. I didn't know what self-love or valuing myself. I had no idea what that meant. So so basically, long story short, for this conversation, my ex-husband, we met online, and I picked, I've always had a strong intuition. I picked up on all the red flags. He lived in another country. So the relationship was long distance. And so we were on the phone, of course, every day. And I picked up on these very, very bizarre inconsistencies with his behavior. And they were absolutely red flags. Like he would snap out of nowhere, like just very bizarre mood swings. And something told me, and I believe intuition is the voice of God. I knew that there was something off, but I need to add, this is exactly like how bad I was emotionally at this point. I had gone, prior to my ex and I getting together, I had gone through so many breakups, and like one after the other. And like, I was a broken mess inside. And I don't know if some people call it, relationship addict, love addict, and that might have been in the mix. I just wanted so bad. I just felt so empty inside.
Yeah.
I felt so empty. And I guess part of the issue is just wanting to be with that person to feel that right person to feel completed.
Yeah.
So I kept going from relationship to relationship, one awful situation to another. And I was in that place of just wanting to share my love, my life, and my dreams with the right person. Now, that's not bad. I feel like that's a perfectly reasonable and healthy desire.
Yeah.
But the issue that maybe taints that is not feeling like a whole, complete person in and of yourself. I didn't have a healthy relationship with myself. I just always felt like I needed the connection of that other person. So I felt so broken and so empty inside. I really was at that point, I can't go through another heartbreak, even though I knew, okay, there's a very good chance I could be walking into something I shouldn't be walking into. But like, that I don't know if you've ever felt numb emotionally.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Well, I was in that very scary, dangerous place where I felt so numb. Like I felt broken. I could feel like sadness and depression, but at the same time, it's like my senses were numb. Like I knew God in my intuition kept telling me, don't go down this road. But yet I felt like, but what if, look at what he's promising me over the
Yeah.
phone. I mean, he seems like this wonderful person.
Yeah.
I basically bought into a brilliantly crafted facade. He told me everything I wanted to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hear again the inconsistencies with his behavior, like screamed at me, this person's not for real. But I wanted so badly to believe him. I wanted to
Yeah.
believe the lies, basically, between text message and what he was sharing with me over the phone. So we had visited with each other only once, and I had shared this with you. You've heard me say this cringe-worthy confessions, and I'm sharing this. The reason I'm very open with sharing this is to help anyone who might feel this, be at this point of the journey. This is to share with you all where I was at and how far God's taken me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in such a bad spot, like, not exercising wisdom, discernment. Like, this was just really not in a good place. So we had only visited with each other once and got married. So, like, it's not like
Wow.
we spent any time in person,
Mm-hmm.
so basically, the second that happened here again, like, I saw the red flags just from being over the phone. But the second we had gotten married and traveled back, across country together, and you've heard me say this before, you share this before, Jekyll turned into Hyde. I'd
Mm-hmm.
seen the split personality, but it really, I mean, it blew up. And it was the most, I knew at that point I made the biggest mistake of my life. I had never felt more terrified and hopeless. Like, I can't believe I cannot believe this is happening to me. Like, I can, but I can't. And I felt so ashamed too, because I felt like, how could I saw the red flags. I just felt like, how can I have let this happen? It was just
Mm-hmm.
like, it was just basically, I just almost felt frozen in time. Like, I just don't even know. I just felt hopeless. Like, I felt
Yeah.
like, okay, somehow, some way, I'm just going to try and make this work. So basically, every single day, it was an emotionally abusive nightmare. Thank God it never got physical, and it
Mm.
could have. He had a violent temper,
Yeah.
and it could have very easily. It, I could very easily not be here to share this, but
Yeah.
I was very good at talking him down. And
Sure.
I'm also convinced that that was the grace of God
Yeah.
on me, honestly, the
Mm-hmm.
combination. So I basically played like a role like an actress in a movie for 3 years, just was not even myself, just say and do whatever he wanted just to keep peace and keep him happy.
Wow.
Yeah, for 3 years. And so the turning point of this, like, where I want to give everybody hope, this is a sad, I
You're
felt like
good.
rock bottom, hopeless, like mind-blowing depression every single day, just trying to figure out, where do I go from here? Because I always believed deep down, this is not what God meant for my life. I
Sure.
just always felt like I had a different vision for my life. And I just felt like this is not, even at that awful state I was in, I knew this is not in alignment for what God wanted for my life. And it's important for me to add, I've always had a relationship with God. I've always loved God. My relationship with God was always very, very special to me. It was always front and center of my life. But it really wasn't until this one very, like, I'm excited to share this, like, larger than life experience. I didn't realize that I really didn't know how to I didn't know how to love. I didn't know how to receive the love of God. Like,
Wow.
I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't know how to receive God's love. And, like, for anyone listening to this, that might sound strange, but when you're someone that feels like you have to perform for love, you have to be a certain way to win
Mm-hmm.
someone's love. And I had that mentality, like, I'm great at loving other people. I can love on you all day, and it comes from the most raw, authentic place. But for some reason, I felt blocked. Like,
Mm,
okay, I can love you. I can love you no matter what, unconditionally. But I don't know why. But for some reason, I felt like it's not the reverse. Like, I
yeah.
don't know how to accept unconditional love. I
Mm-hmm.
always felt like I had to perform and win and be a certain way and do certain things just to be worthy of that. And here again, that comes back to just being able to unconditionally love myself and
Mm,
recognize my own value and worth. So I know you've shared this part of the story. I was driving home late from work one night, and just praying over and over again, God, just please, whatever it takes, just please open this man's eyes. Just please make a miracle happen. Because I really just wanted, half of me was like, I know I got to run. The other half of me was like, but what if this can work? What if a
yeah.
miracle can happen and this can
Yeah.
work and we can live happily ever after, right?
Right.
Well, as I'm praying, God, please open this man's eyes, an even bigger miracle happened. I had the biggest epiphany of my life. God essentially opened my eyes.
Mm,
So I was driving. I remember this. I can put myself in this scenario like it literally just happened. It's still
wow.
that real to me. And this happened over 5 years ago, going on six
Mm-hmm.
years ago. I remember feeling this like overwhelming presence that was so powerful. It was so pronounced and intense. I know it was God. Like, it's like this divine presence came over me. I felt this love and I was hysterical crying. Like, and I'm not someone who cries easily. And especially at that point, I felt so blocked emotionally. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just this overwhelming, intense. I know that God is trying to communicate to me, because this is not normal. This is not something that happens in my world ever.
Yeah.
But I felt the presence of God. I knew it was God. And I felt at that
Mm,
very moment, pulled the car over. I could barely see straight. And I mean, it's like the middle of the night. I'm hysterical and I just am praying. And I felt God wanting me to know how real and how powerful his love for me personally truly is, and
mm-hmm.
how much I matter to him, and
Mm,
that this was not what he intended for my life, that I was accepting far less than what he ever intended for my life.
wow.
And I know that he wanted me to realize that I was I think, he wanted me to change the way I was seeing life and myself. And I realized, like, this is all one ginormous epiphany. Okay. That's all happening
Yeah.
in this window of time. I realized that I was seeing myself for years and years and years through this lens of a lot of stuff that had happened to me, a lot of unhealed trauma, and just a lot
Mm-hmm.
of stuff that clouded my vision, a lot of unhealed stuff.
Yeah.
And God was wanting me to see myself through his lens. The way he saw me had nothing to do with any of that. He had great plans for my life, which I always sensed. But when
Yeah.
you're that deep in that dark place, you really can't, it's hard to believe it. It's hard to really see it. Somewhere
Mm-hmm.
deep down, I knew it had to be better than this. But so God really, that was like mind blowing revelation. Like, I felt God wanting me to know that he had great plans for my life, and that he was going to help me in a way that only he could. I just felt this in my spirit, this like strong sense of, oh my God, okay, just I need to just trust God on a whole other level than I've ever trusted him.
Wow.
So I felt hope, Gabi, for the first time in years. I felt hope in what I call my darkest rock bottom place. Because at this point I didn't want to wake up. I would have never ended my life personally because I didn't want to hurt my family. But I
Mm-hmm.
promise you, I didn't want to wake up. Like, if
Yeah.
something happened to me, I would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That's how dark.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt hope for the very, very first time in that in that place.
Wow.
So fast forward, for the sake of time,
No, go for it.
fast forward. God, like all these like the strategy for how to very strategically break out of this situation, because it really needed to be very strategic, because here again, every day was like walking through a minefield.
Mhm.
One wrong move and I mean, he would have snapped. So I was able very prayerfully, like, it's weird how I don't know why, like, these ideas did not come to me sooner, but I was able to come up with a plan that made sense to him to cross the border to get back where my family was, because that was another issue, being able to even get back home to see my
Wow.
family.
Yeah.
But just to share one of the details, there's a bajillion, but like I had to get my car tags renewed in the
Mm.
States, and because it was way too expensive to be able to get them renewed where I was. So, and he wasn't, this was actually a godsend. He wasn't wanting to pay for it, which thank God, honestly, because this was how I needed my car to get to and from work, and it would have
Mhm.
inconvenienced him to have to worry about that for me. So, like, that's honestly how I was able to get out. I have to get
Wow.
go home to get my tags renewed
Yeah.
and then come back. Well, when I crossed the border, I knew in my heart, like, there was still this little part of me that thought maybe with some time, some distance, he'll be open to counseling, because that's another thing I tried to push for 3
Yeah.
years.
Mhm.
The 3 years we were together, and he was never open to that. But I
Mhm.
thought there was this little part of me that thought maybe this could still turn around.
Mhm.
No.
Mhm.
So I was able to cross the border. And as I'm driving, even with that little thought in the back of my head, I just kept driving, and I knew most likely I will never turn back.
Wow.
So basically, and I know I've shared this with you. I It's like God turned the volume way up on all my senses literally right after crossing the border. It was
Wow.
really, really bizarre, because the second that I was officially like away from him, like this is real,
Yeah.
it's like I had this heightened sense of awareness towards myself. It's like I felt what I like to jokingly say, I felt naked emotionally. It was just very bizarre. Like, all these feelings and emotions were like flooding through me. I didn't even know what to do. I didn't know how to process this, but I knew intuitively, don't try to distract myself.
Mm.
And it would have been very tempting to just find any way to distract from all of these feelings and emotions. But at this point, I knew, okay, probably need to work through this if I'm ever going to have a healthy relationship with myself. And eventually, at some point, a healthy relationship with, and someone else moving
Mhm.
forward. So basically, when I got back to my family's and I, started life over, um, it was a big, huge production, going through an international divorce,
Wow.
but I mean, thank God in heaven, it all worked out.
Yeah.
But the biggest, I mean, I think to this day, I mean, here going on 6 years later, I still thank God every day that God had his hand on me and helped me get through all this, because not everybody has this story.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing, I mean, outside of being able to just get my life back logistically, was how I got to know who God really created me to be.
Yeah.
So this is the part that I'm especially excited to share with people, because I feel like there's so many people out there that really don't understand what it means to have a healthy relationship with themselves.
Mhm.
Like, it sounds good on paper. You can read books, it makes sense on paper, but actually living it is
Mhm.
a whole different ball game. And it really didn't make sense until I carved out time every single day to just be alone with God. Like, I
Wow.
always love my long walks with God. I call them my prayer walks. And I've done this
Yeah.
since I was a kid, but this specific window of time, this time frame, I wanted to spend very intentionally with God to soul search. And I asked God, I need you to show me, who did you create me to be? Who am I? I wanted to get to know the real me. I wanted to work. And I asked God to please help me process all of these feelings, these emotions. I asked God, like, help me find my true, authentic self. And that was how that was the beginning of how I overcame codependency and started forging a healthy relationship with myself every single day, just soul searching, getting to know this authentic person, the authentic Jennifer LaGuardia.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really, I mean, it was incredible what came to me. Like, so I'd be on these long walks every day, you know, before going into work, and I would text myself these divine downloads that would come to me. And that is where, like, that is where the inspiration to do a solo cast and ultimately have my own radio show one day and go into inspirational speaking, like all these things came to me to basically help other people over, you know, with what I've overcome.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I was like, God, I am committed to you. Like, if you just help me make all this come to fruition. I realize there's a time frame for everything to come to fruition, but if you help me, like, I am committed to you to do this. So, you know, it was a lot of months and months, just really getting to know my own self apart from another person. And then the other critical piece in really being able to overcome what I call that codependency monster was really understanding, what does it really mean to value and love myself? Right? Because here again, I know what it means to love other people unconditionally, but I
Right.
really didn't understand that for myself. And God really revealed to me, Gabi, you know, that whole performance mentality, that I am constantly trying to win the love, you know, win love, like, you know, do whatever I can to be worthy,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I realized that my worthiness, our worthiness, every human being on this planet, our worthiness is founded in God. I believe
Mm-hmm.
passionately in Jesus, so I believe with all my heart, you know, my worth, my identity is founded in Christ. So like that, like, when I really tapped into that, it's like a whole other world just exploded. It was like this internal, like, it was a progression for sure. But I have to say, like, every single day when I was praying about God helping me to see myself through his lens, help me to understand how to love myself, help me to know what this means, to value myself. And Gabi, I kid you not, like, I woke up one morning, it took months and months for that heaviness to kind of lighten off my heart, because there was still, I mean, the trauma, you know,
Yeah, it's
the
a lot.
guilt, you know, you know what I mean? So I was still trying to process through all of this. And I woke up one morning literally like it was all like that, the weight of the world was off my chest. Literally, it was the
Wow.
most bizarre, like, what's different? You know, like, I
Oh,
woke up
wow.
feeling like, okay, that beast is not sitting on my chest. Like, I actually feel like I just felt completely renewed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like this sense of lightness that I had never experienced before. It was almost like, oh my God, I feel like, yes, I remember everything that happened, but it's almost like it didn't. Like, it's like God
Mm.
really healed my soul, my
Wow.
very, very wounded, like all the brokenness. It's like God reached down and healed all of that,
Wow.
you know, and it was the most incredible sense that I had. So immediately, like, upon waking up, that was my routine: wake up, have that time with God out on my walks with him. And I realized, like, this was like divine download. And I'm passionate about sharing this with other people, that, you know, we were hardwired with divine purpose and destiny. And the heart of the Heavenly Father loves and cherishes each one of us. And this is so hard, I feel like, in our own human comprehension to really get. But I felt this so deeply, and I'm so passionate for every person listening to me to get this, and at least try. God is so madly in love with you, as if you were his only one. Like,
I love
that is,
that.
and yeah, God loves you beyond, like, no matter what happened to you. And we don't understand why things happen, why sick, crazy injustices happen. And, you know, I consider myself lucky. I know people who have gone through infinitely worse. I'm grateful every day. But, like, I can't speak this enough, that no matter what happens, these horrible atrocities, we don't know why God cherishes you infinitely beyond anyone or anything you could possibly imagine loving, and
Yeah.
wants to literally take every broken, shattered piece on the inside of you and transform it into a purpose that not only elevates you and propels you into this destiny God had planned for you all along, but to be that beacon of hope for other people. A lot of what you go through isn't really just for you, it is for other people.
Yeah.
And God really, I mean, I felt that so deeply in my spirit, and it just compounded, that passion inside of me to want to help others with what I've been through. So, like, that is like the gleaming message, like the number one thing when you really recognize that you are infinitely loved, like your worth doesn't ride on another person. It has nothing to do with how well you perform one day, or daggone it, you might have failed miserably the next. Has nothing to do with any of that. Has nothing to do with anything that happened to you. Your identity, your value and worth literally is embedded inside of God, inside of Jesus, the heart of God. So literally your very existence being cherished by this higher power, I call God, I call Jesus, like that alone, like that's it. Like that's it.
Yeah.
So how you like when you know this, your like the standards you live by in every area of your life, to include your relationships, how you
Yeah.
allow yourself to be treated, the people that you choose to be involved with, like it's a game changer.
Totally.
Because, and it really kind of hit me, you know, it's so easy when there's somebody close to you, you see injured by someone else, you want to run to that person's defense right away, and you want to shake that person and say, don't you see you're worth more than this? How
Yeah.
many times, it's anyone listening, I bet you might have a friend or someone near and dear to your heart. You're like, why can't they just see like what's happening? But
Yeah.
why is it so flipping hard for us to see that in ourselves, right?
Right. Right. Totally.
So that came to me. I was like, you know what? I need to be my own advocate here and recognize that it does not honor God, me allowing me living substandard. I truly believe that, like, it is honoring to God when we honor ourselves and be in relation, to include relationally who we get involved with, who we
Mm-hmm.
interact with. It's, I feel like truly there are many ways of worshiping and honoring God, and it being and expressing God through our lives, and relationships are a huge part of that. So to kind of, you know, conclude, where I'm going with this for, this conversation, the number one thing that I can't encourage enough is forging out. If you have a relationship with God, be on a mission to make it deeper every single day. If
Mm.
you don't, I am telling you, like, not just because someone said it, like, you've got to, I pray that every person listening to me would have this encounter with God. Like, I've experienced this up close and deeply personal.
Yeah.
A relationship with God is the foundation for how you can have a healthy relationship with yourself. You can experience these divine downloads that would otherwise maybe be blocked just because of your experiences. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stuff that you're struggling with, that relationship with God will help to open your eyes, open the eyes of your heart and your spirit. And truly, with all my heart and soul, I genuinely believe that through God, all things are possible. What seems utterly, completely not doable to you, you're right. Like, in your own strength, in your own set of circumstances, you're right, probably not. But with God, anything is possible. And that's what gives me hope with everything that I come across moving forward. So, I mean, that was one very larger than life, obstacle that
Yeah.
I got past. And I mean, I'm telling you, like, God will get you through anything. God will take your deepest scars and turn it into the most beautiful masterpiece.
Mm.
And I genuinely believe that when you pursue God, pursue his calling on your life, make your life be completely founded, centered, front and center. Make it be God. Everything else that you're desiring for your life, to include that right relationship, will fall into place. People and circumstances that are in divine alignment with your life, that will manifest when you pursue God first in that divine appointed time.
So beautiful, my friend. Oh my
Thank you,
gosh.
Gabi. Thank you for letting me share. I really
Oh my
appreciate that. I
gosh.
hope this helps anyone listening.
Such a blessing. I mean, for anyone really, even for me, I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to get back to the basics and make sure that I'm even spending that time, like you mentioned, how you would go for those long walks with God. It can be so easy to not be still in this life, in this world. But that stillness and that set aside time to be like, okay, this is just God and me is so imperative, right? To hear from him, like any relationship. If you really want to get to know somebody, you've got to spend quality time with them.
Yes, you can't really trust someone without really knowing them. And you got to
Right.
spend time with that person to really know and
Right.
trust them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I don't know. I'm just really encouraged and challenged. Like, I need to get back to the basics because I want what God wants for my life.
Of
I want to
course.
understand what God says about me, how he sees me. I want to know who I am in him. And all of that happens, like you said, with making him front and center, and prioritizing that. Like you said it again and again, like I can't say it enough. Like, this is the thing. I know it sounds basic, but this is the thing. But it's true. And we need to
Yes.
hear that. We need that
Yes.
reminder. So thank you so much, my friend, for your authenticity and your willingness to share. It's truly a blessing. And I'm sure a lot of people are encouraged by this message right now.
Gabi, thank you so much. I love you, my friend.
I
I
love you
appreciate you with all my
too.
heart. Thank you.
It is so, so mutual. And I would love for people to be able to connect with you, follow you on Instagram, all the things. So if you want to tell us like what's the best ways to connect with you, I'll put it in the show notes too. But for anyone who's just
Okay.
listening, let us know what that would be.
Yes, I would be thrilled for all of you to connect with me on Instagram. That's the best way. So I'm Jennifer LaGuardia Hope on Instagram, and the solo cast is Awakening Hope with Jennifer LaGuardia. If you click the link in my bio, you can see like all the platforms I'm on. I'm basically on pretty much every platform that you can listen to podcasts. But all that information is featured on my Instagram page when you click the bio. Awakening Hope with Jennifer LaGuardia is, again, that's the solo cast, but my Instagram handle is Jennifer LaGuardia Hope.
I love it. I love it. And her videos and everything are so encouraging, like I said. And I'm just so grateful to be going through this journey of life with you and
Likewise, my friend.
able to be your friend. You're such a gift. And I'm just really glad we got to have this conversation today.
Thank you, Gabi. I'm honored. You're amazing. And I just can't say enough how much I love and appreciate you. Thank you.
I love you
Thank
too.
you, everyone,
Mwah.
for listening. Mwah.
Talk to you
Mwah.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.